ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL Doncaster Rovers fan and your sporting journalist, and today we are going to be talking about the deadline day signing, Max Woltman, who has signed on a season-long loan from Premier League Liverpool. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to know this YouTube video, and for now, let's have a deeper look into Max Woltman, our final signing of the window. So Rovers are delighted to announce the signing of Max Woltman, the forward on a season-long loan from Premier League Liverpool. Gary McSheffrey has swooped to strengthen his attacking options on deadline day, with Woltman arriving for his first taste of EFL football. The 19-year-old has come through the ranks of Anfield and has an impressive scoring record at youth level. He made his first team debut for the Reds as a late substitute against AC Milan in the UEFA Champions League last season, before starting in the 4-1 win over Shrewsbury Town in January in the third round of the FA Cup. After putting pen to paper, Woltman said, "I'm very excited and can't wait to meet the players and see the fans. It's a club with big aspirations and I'm really excited to be a part of it. It's one thing doing it in youth football, but taking it into men's football is the bigger picture, and that's where I want to be. The club have got big aspirations to go for promotion, and that's just what I want. I want to see if they can help the club and take them to where they want to be." Manager Gary McSheffrey said he's coming in from Liverpool and he's a well-educated footballer. He ticks some boxes for us that can play across the front line, and I think with the injuries we've had in recent weeks, it bulks us up in those areas. We're really happy to get him on board. So let's share my thoughts on the signing of Max Woltman, and also a little bit on what this means for our deadline day business and our business in the window overall. There we are, ladies and gentlemen, final signing, done and dusted yesterday, Max Woltman. Now, obviously the story behind how all this came about was, you know, obviously it's a long story, don't get me wrong. You know, I did get a message from a friend of mine who told me about, you know, whether Max would be a possibility. And so what I did was I asked for some advice from a couple of journalists, and they said, you know, one option would be to get in touch with his agent. So I got in touch with agent from SEG, messaged him, and he basically just said it outright. He's on his way to Doncaster to do the deal. And I asked him how much that can I report, and he said you can report all of it if you like. So that's what I did. As you saw on Twitter yesterday, I reported that Max Woltman's agency had told me specifically that he was on his way to do the deal. Now, then it sort of waited for about 5-6 hours. You're thinking, oh, is going to be something happening with the deal? Didn't hear anything back from, you know, after they sent me that message saying you can report whatever you like on the deal. They didn't, you know, there was no other message for like the next 5-6 hours, and you're sitting there at the phone thinking, if this goes wrong, a lot of people will be on my case. And the announcement came out while we were live, and I just couldn't contain my emotions, because I was so happy to have been in the loop on this deal and to have got that contact through SEG. So, you know, I thank the people involved for helping me get this contact. I thank SEG for the constant messaging and staying in contact with you guys. Shout out to Steve Eyre and Tommy Rowe at the training ground, because they were really, really nice about it, of me being there. And, you know, if you didn't know already, yes, I was there at Cantley Park for a couple of hours yesterday. Just to, you know, speak to Steve, speak to Tommy, speak to Gary, and, you know, just speak to him a little bit. I spoke to Ben as well, Ben Close. Hopefully he's back in a couple of weeks as well, which is nice. But no, it felt like a proper deadline day. That it felt, me being there at the training ground, it felt right. And to be fair, I might think about doing something bigger, grand scale for January window, or even the next summer window potentially. So stay tuned for more information on that, because I might do like a little event somewhere and try and organise a camera crew and stuff like that. I might try and organise something big for the next window, or for the next summer window. But on the actual deal, Max Woltman, what do I think we're getting here as in terms of the player? You Rovers fans, you're probably asking me now, what are we getting with Max Woltman? What are we getting? We're getting a guy that can play it forward. He can play on the left or the right. He can play, like I say, he can play across the front line. He can play second striker as well. He can play behind the forward as well, in that sort of cam role, that centre attacking midfield role as well. For me, we're getting someone who has a clever, educated football brain for a 19-year-old. We've got someone who was involved in that senior experience at San Siro with that Champions League atmosphere going on. You know, even though he didn't play a lot of minutes in the Champions League, it was only one game and it was only a little bit of time. To have someone there who's been there and seen it and seen what the top level of football is like on European scale, that for me is very, very important, because you've got a kid there who has got that experience and taking what it's like to be at the top level and knows what it takes to play at the top level, and taking that into a League Two squad that wants to get back into League One. And to be fair, to be honest, I feel like Max will be a really underrated addition to the squad. Yes, it's his first season in the Football League, and yes, that always comes with its risks. Look at Thiago Chakir, for example, last season. Came with a lot of promise from Watford fans and just didn't end up working. I feel like Max Woltman could work, though, this time. I feel like, you know, Liverpool fans seem to rate him a lot. The academy rates him very, very highly. You know, he was working recently with Jurgen Klopp's team quite a bit. So, you know, to have someone like that who's worked with Jurgen Klopp not too long ago is an amazing trait to have, especially for a team that's going for promotion into League One from League Two. To have someone there who's worked with the senior manager at Liverpool, even for a small part, that for me is a fantastic piece of experience, especially for a 19-year-old kid to bring into that setup. So look at the voices you've got in that dressing room now. You've got the experienced voices, your Tomlins, your Rose, your Andersons, your Mitchells, your Claytons, and Agard. You've got the up-and-coming players, Faulkner, Hurst. You've got your prime players, Molyneux, Taylor, other future players, Kulea, De Grucci, Maxwell. Noyle's getting to that sort of prime age bit, but still got a lot of room to grow. And Williams as well. And you've also got players that have come from various backgrounds and various bits of experience. Maxwell from Scotland, Williams, who was in the United Academy, Olu, that was in the Arsenal Academy, Mitchell, who's played at Derby and up and down the Football League and, you know, didn't get into Hartlepool, and how did that experience shape him as a future player? Agard's been across the Football League. Tomlin's been across the Football League. Clayton's been in the flaming Premier League, for God's sake. And now you've got a 19-year-old kid on loan for the season who's just spent time with Jurgen Klopp and about 12 months ago was involved in the Champions League, or involved in a Champions League atmosphere for a whole sort of midweek. That is a very good locker room. To have those voices, to have those backgrounds, to have those experiences, that is a very technically gifted locker room. And Gary's getting the best out of them. To be fair, Gary's even come out and said in the past, even, you know, we're unbeaten in the league in 6, and he still said, we've still got another gear to go. With this kid, and with more players still yet to get out of the second gear into third gear, we could be a serious side this year. A serious, dangerous side. And I think fans have said this on Twitter already and across social media. Have you noticed this? Even on the away trips as well. More and more fans are coming back to the stadiums. We said it. More and more fans are coming back to the stadiums. Why? Because the club, the board, the recruitment team, the structure have done something right this summer. They've done things right this summer. You know, the people who passed the decision to bring the new football structure in and to bring that head of football operations role in the first place was Gavin Baldwin. So I thank Gavin Baldwin for finally getting the director of football type role accepted, because now we can finally look ahead to move on, because it's going to be very, very hard, very, 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 very hard for this club to get taken over. We won't get taken over, and I've said this in the past from my sources, from my journalists. They said to me that even smaller investors will take over a club, but they'll only take over a club that's on the up. Even in the lower leagues, they'll only take them when it's on the up. So we've got to get back on the incline rather than the decline to move forward, to really, really move forward. And you know, that's up to the current regime to do that. And what have they done? They've passed the director of football model, and Coppinger's just gone in and gone absolutely mental on this squad. We've ripped out the deadwood, and we've brought in the new talent, the people that are going to be here for 2-3 years, as well as a couple of loans that are going to help us throughout the season. Andrews, on his best day, is a proper target man, 6'5". Aerially, he will get better. He is still young. Max Woltman, an all-round striker, a quick kid, fast as lightning, Champions League atmosphere experience, as well as on the pitch at San Siro. You know, we've got a good mixture in that squad now. The head of football operations and that whole reshifted recruitment department and every single one of the new staff in the back room has all committed to that. The manager, the staff, the players, they've all committed to that new process. That new, updated, refreshed process. But what got that new structure, that new football structure, that new process passed in the first place? The CEO. Gavin Baldwin was the main reason for why this director of football role got passed in the first place, got accepted in the first place. So I thank Gavin Baldwin, and I may get slated for it on social media for saying this, but that's just the truth. The whole football structure change wouldn't have happened without the ownership passing it in the first place. So they are the reason for passing it in the first place, and then the responsibility falls down to the new football structure and the new football recruitment team to deliver and show them why they should have passed it in the first place. And they have done. So everyone around this football club is to thank for the summer we've had so far and for the start of the season that we've had. On the deal itself, to summarise finally, Max Woltman is a fantastic young player, a lot of potential at Liverpool. Some Liverpool fans are even thinking that this guy's going to be stepping up into the first team in the next couple of years, next few years, which is exciting to hear. Could this be another Jacob Ramsey loanee? I really hope it is. I really hope this is going to be like another Jacob Ramsey situation, and we get him for longer, which we're going to get him for the full season. There's no COVID-19 to stop us. There's no anything to stop us now apart from an injury, which hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood or touch whatever. You know, hopefully that doesn't happen, because Max is a very talented young kid. I've seen the highlights, I've seen character profiles, spoken to Liverpool fans. He is a serious young talent. So we've got our hands on a serious player here. So we move on now. Deadline's shut, window's done. Let's see what happens now. But there we are, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. Welcome, Max Woltman's Doncaster Rovers. I hope you enjoy your stay for the season. And for now, I am the CHALL, your Doncaster Rovers fan, and your sporting journalist around the world. Keep living the Rovers life, and that is full time.